Okay, welcome back. We're just gonna jump in. I'm John.
I'm Sierra.
And this is
And They Were Readers. It's another reading wrap-up.
This is the first time in channel history I think Sierra's gonna come with more books than me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for Sierra the reader.
So here's the deal. I used to read so much in a month.
Yeah.
Then I was working on my PhD.
Correct.
We know this. Yay! Okay. So finally, my brain said, and then all I wanted to do was read.
Yeah, and that's all she's
fall
been doing.
Happened.
Yeah.
And then.
Guys, when I tell you, she's got it crazy. She purchased a book that I would never have thought she would purchase for herself.
Same. Actually, I shouldn't have purchased it.
She's going rogue.
I purchased The Will of Many by...
The Will of the Many.
The Will of the Many.
Sorry.
So the discourse was happening. I was like, the second book is coming out.
Yeah.
I want to be in the know.
Okay.
I'm reading again.
Wow.
So might as well be in the know. And then it came in the mail. And it was so big.
So big.
And I said, I don't historically do well with big books. So I am going to be sharing about 13 books that I read this past season. So since our last wrap up, I've read 13 books.
I have 6, which is like normal for me.
And you read a really long book.
I did read a really long book. I'm so shocked. Welcome back, Sierra the Reader, everybody. You guys
Celebrate
didn't know.
with us in the
You guys didn't know.
She's back.
Bro, it was probably like John. So I'm gonna let you go first because she's got a lot more than me. I feel like
I haven't gone first in so long.
No.
Okay. So in our comments, someone mentioned that they would love to know a little bit more about our libraries because,
our public libraries.
Yes, our public libraries, because you see, in the country right now, they may or may not be under attack. So in order to kind of celebrate what our libraries are doing for the community, someone was like, can you talk about libraries? Yes, I can talk about libraries because I love my library. Okay. So I'm actually going to break down for you. We're like a week into November when we're doing this, so my story graph is not letting me do what I want. But for the month of October, I read 10 books, and I wanted to give you my stats on what I did, like how I read the book and where I read the book from. So I read 3 books in print, and I own those books.
Okay.
And then the other 7 were library loans, either digitally or audio.
Nice.
So 4 were digital copies that I read on my Kindle, and then 3 were audiobooks that I listened to. And then this month, that's not right. Oh, I left a book. I left a book at home. I didn't think. I see. I'm not used to having this many books.
It's crazy
to deal with. So then this month I read 1 book so far print, 1 book audio, 1 book on Kindle, I believe. Anyway, so that we are using the library. We love the library, and then our library ships books to us. So I actually have a library book at home that is print, but I probably won't read it. Because here's the thing, I ordered Audition thinking it was by Katie Kitamura, and it's by a completely different author from a completely different year, but a different author.
I fear you're making book decisions that are quite rash. Okay,
so the first book I read after our wrap up.
Yeah, was.
Ready? Ooh, okay, this is interesting.
Okay.
So I read Turbulence by David Zalé.
Okay.
Don't really know how to pronounce the last name, and I'm so sorry. But David, I'm doing what you do. I'm saying my first name.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
When you read too many books, you just gotta be like, we're on a first day basis.
He is on the Booker Prize short list.
Oh, currently.
I'm gonna say that word again. Booker Prize short list.
It did come out as burger.
It did. My parents make fun of me for that every time. So I had to correct myself.
That's really funny.
And he's on it for Flesh. In our comments, some of you have mentioned that there's like a split interaction with that book. Some people love it, some people hate it.
It's divisive.
It's divisive. But I don't know why yet, and I do own it. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I don't know.
Is it the Apple one? Yeah.
I didn't get to read it before today. I was reading other books, apparently.
Yeah, clearly.
And it's the Booker Prize is going to come out before this video, or like right around this video, and I'm just sad. I'm sad that I haven't read it yet, and that I can't talk to you about it.
Yeah, you came into this reading very recently, you didn't have the time. The books are new. Hey, give me some bread.
Thank you. And I was just trying to listen to the books while I was in the car for the list, as many as I could, but obviously the short list dropped, and obviously all the books were backlogged.
Of course.
And we're, like, it's 16 weeks out. Everybody wants them.
Yeah, I get it.
But Turbulence was actually quite interesting, and I really enjoyed it. So this audiobook, or this book, covers, follows different characters as they go on plane rides. And so you're traveling from one place to another, and you are experiencing either, like, the travel or, like, what's happening when you touch ground. So, like, you know, who are you interacting with? What are your characters like? And it's really exploring the different characters that you end up meeting and how our lives touch one another when you don't even realize that they are touching.
Interesting.
So every leg of a trip, you, like, end up in a different city, and then a character from that story will end up in the next story, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I thought it was really well done for such a short book. The community seems to think it's mid. I think it was good. So there you go.
I mean, hey, that's how a book becomes mid. Some people think it's good, some people think it's bad, and then bam.
Yeah, I think
a lot of people think it's just mid.
Yeah. So I had a good time with it.
Nice.
I think it did what it set out to do. So that's it. Turbulence was the first audiobook I read.
Okay.
Is there another?
Do your next one.
Okay. So the next book I read and finished, I mentioned it on the channel.
Oh.
It is on the short list for the Booker Prize.
Yes.
And that is Flashlight by Susan Choi.
Okay.
I loved this book.
Whoa. Okay.
So this book follows three people, a child, a mom, and a dad.
Okay.
At different points, you get the perspectives of these people, and you are following. I don't want to give anything away.
Where are we?
So we are in the United States when we start.
Okay.
And then we are in Korea right after the war, where, like, oh no, actually we're in Japan. So we're in Japan. Okay, so because we're following a Korean boy who you'll know really quickly, but, like, in the story you are like, oh, you're in Japan, so, like, I'm following this Japanese boy, but, like, immediately you read his name and you're like, well, maybe not for everyone. But I have studied a little bit of Korean, and I've had a best friend who's Korean for a very long time. So I read the name immediately and I was like, oh, it's probably a Korean name.
Got it.
And then kind of caught on to the fact that they were a Korean family living in Japan who had fled the war. And it was this time period where there was a lot of propaganda around North Korea, and North Korea convincing I don't know if that's the right word for back then, but basically convincing families to, hey, move to North Korea, we're better, we're the, like, People's Republic kind of thing, come here. Propaganda. And so the parents moved there, but the son chose not to. And the son, like, figured out how to go to school and then ended up moving to the United States.
How young is the son when he makes that decision?
I don't remember, like 16 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking like
he'd grown
10
up.
to 12, and I was like, whoa.
It's been a while since I read this book.
This is what happens.
I understand. But basically you follow this kid who ends up going to the United States, and then you switch POVs all of a sudden. You're following this woman who's, like, living a very different lifestyle, right? And then you're following her in the United States and the choices that she's making. And then you just keep going through POVs, and time is passing, and you kind of get to the end of the book, and I want to say maybe 50-ish years have passed throughout the entire book. And it was beautifully done. And I feel like some people have mixed feelings on it, but I thought that the writing style was brilliant. I thought the storytelling was excellent. I think it is hard to find a book that has beautiful prose and good story. And I think it did do both. It pulled me in, and it was interesting, but it was also historically accurate and talked about dynamics of mixed race couples from different countries, like, in a way that, you know, when you read about romance books and you're like, this feels not real. But they got married really quickly, and so I was like, this isn't gonna end well, and it, you know what, immediately it was bad, and I was like, this is realistic. I appreciate that.
The boy who'd grown up and the other lady? Okay, because you made it sound like they had, like, it was two different perspectives, and I don't know if they, like, intersected that story.
Well, I was not gonna tell them.
Oh.
No, that's okay.
But you said they got married.
Well, I was gonna say she cared. Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay.
I don't know. I wanted to keep it a little mysterious, so I said the thing.
Does flashlight come into play at all?
It is a symbol throughout the book. Okay. And I really liked how it was used as a symbol, actually.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah, there's a whole different way I could have said how the story goes.
Oh.
But I think I'm gonna leave that part mysterious. Like, I think the things that I told you aren't the point of the book at all.
Okay, good.
Like, the point of the book, I haven't told you yet. And I want you to discover it for yourself.
Good, yeah.
Okay. Alright, go.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, wait, before I go. Sorry.
Go.
I recommend both of them. I recommend Flashlight more.
Okay.
Okay, go.
My first book this was so long ago now.
Yeah, it's true.
This is Punch Me Up to the Gods by Brian Broom.
Because we only do these like once a month.
Yeah. So I feel like I've forgotten so much of it, but I can tell you that I think I said this before because I was like, instead of Punch Me Up to the Gods, it should be called Punch You Right in the Face because this book beat me down. Oh my goodness, I've underlined so much of this thing. Like now that I'm looking at my underlines, it really looks like a chicken did it.
What do you mean?
Like, look at that.
You've always underlined like that.
Anyway, okay, this book is incredible. It is so sad. We follow, it's basically an autobiography about Brian as he grows up in Ohio. We follow his whole life, essentially, from as early as he's willing to start his story. He knows he's different, but he grows up in a household where that's not accepted, especially from his father, who is very, very like strict and like has very traditional hyper masculine values that he's trying to put onto his son. So he like wants to dance, and he's like, we're gonna throw this ball in the backyard. You gotta be good. His father like loses his job really early on and becomes like this deadbeat. His mom kicks him out of the house, but when his mom is gone at work taking care of the family, he like sneaks back in, and it's this like weird dynamic between the kids trying to cover for him and like hide and kind of lie. But basically he grows up knowing that the way he feels is not accepted, and not acceptable by his family, not acceptable by society, and not accepted in the religion that he's like been brought up in. So he eventually gets older, he like moves to the city, and this happens a lot with like queer youth that have been told to be and pretend to be somebody that they're not. They tend to end up looking for love in all the wrong places because they were never able to fully experience what it looks like and what it like truly means from either like romantic partners or people that are supposed to love them, right? So they're trying to fill this void that they haven't been able to fill as they've grown up. So he kind of talks about that experience as he's getting older, the things he went through, the places, like he ends up in some seedy places with some people that aren't the safest, and it is crushing. I have a billion quotes in here, and if I had read it more recently, I would be able to read them to you, but I'm not going to do that right now. I think I definitely highly recommend it. It'll specifically hit harder if you are part of the LGBTQ plus community and or a black person, because it covers both of those topics very well. How he sees whiteness as this like value to aspire to, because that's the beauty standard that he sees everywhere, especially back in the day. Like I forget when he was born, but like it's
for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So Punch Up to the Gods, I think it was. I read it with a friend, and she was saying the same thing, and it was one of the first books. I'll say this: one of the first books ever in my life that I almost decided to DNF because I didn't think I could handle what was going on personally. There'd be times where I'd be reading it and I'd be like, that is so sad and so true to me. I need to stop reading this right now. That being said, I recommend it, but like read your trigger warnings and like make sure you can do it from a place of safety and comfort, and know thyself.
Know thyself. Okay, is it me next?
Yeah, dude,
you get one and I get two?
And you get two, yeah.
Amazing. That's crazy. Okay. Ooh. Okay, the next book. You're gonna need a track with me, okay? Ready? Okay. Harriet Tubman. We're with me. Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Live in Concert, a novel by Bob the Drag Queen.
Okay.
Can you with me?
Word.
I loved this book.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I really love this book.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I saw Bob perform.
Well, how could you with the title like that?
I saw Bob Reform a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she's describing that there was this, she sang 2 songs from her album about this book.
That's crazy.
And I was like, this kind of goes hard.
Can you explain, like, the concept?
Well, I will in a second.
Okay.
So I was just saying, and then she was like, okay, so the book's out, read it. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I, like, got it on Libby, and I really had no idea what was going on. Right? I was like, what is this book? I read the title 5 times, and said, I still don't know what this could be.
Well, it feels both like an oxymoron, also somehow, like, sacrilegious.
Yeah. Especially when you're singing Wade in the Water as a part of the album, and you're like, what is happening? What is happening here? Okay. This book, I thought was really well done. I'm just like listening to him drink water was really funny to me. Sorry.
Well, don't listen. I have to swallow it.
Okay.
It's really good.
So Harriet Tubman and her crew are sucked out of time and dropped into, I want to say 2024 or 2025, whatever year it is. It's
you explained this to me a few weeks ago, and it was so crazy that I've already forgotten everything.
Okay, well, let the people listen.
No, I'm here now. I'm just telling you that this is new for me now.
Okay, good. So Harriet Tubman and her crew are now in present day, and she has enlisted the help of the main character, Darnell, who is a producer, and he is... showing up to this place, and he's like so nervous. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Harriet Tubman is an icon, a queen. Like she saved so many people. Like fix myself. Like I'm so nervous. Like that's the energy you're getting at the very beginning.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. It is like it's giving like a funny version instead of a horror version of Octavia Butler's books, where you know how Octavia Butler, you're like thrust into this assumption of sci-fi. It's like categorized as sci-fi, but really there's no reason for the sci-fi. You have no science going on. It's just happening, whatever it is. Yeah. That's true here as well. So, and he never mentions it. It's not even considered sci-fi. It's just like, she's here now.
Yeah.
And that's the facts.
That's just where we are. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
And so he goes in and gets to know her. And her brother's there, Moses, her friends are there, and she goes, I am having you here as a producer because, we have our music, we have our sounds, but I need someone to help tell my story in album form and in a concert. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. It feels wrong to say that a book about Harriet Tubman and anti-slavery was funny, but it was. It was so funny to me. I had such a good time. I think it did a really good job of talking about the challenges that Black queer folks are still experiencing in 2025, while also honoring the work that has been done to get us here where we are. Okay. It did both really well. I was so confused the whole time. Every time I would get in my car, I'd be like, how is this still good? What's happening? So the beginning, you're following him as he's working on this album, and then in the middle you get a little bit more of his story and context about him, the main character, and then you go back to finishing the album. And so you get to have conversations with the Quaker, who's a part of the crew. Quaker? Shaker? No, Quaker. No, the Shakers were also a part of the abolition movement, but they weren't as strong or as good. Okay. But yeah, so there was a Quaker involved, and you got to know a white person's perspective on the movement and what she had done. You got a cameo by Frederick Douglass. It was so good. I'm telling you, you need to read it. I'm sorry, you need to read it.
It's just funny to me that it's no one on either side is asking questions. Harriet Tubman is there, produce my album. Yeah. Not what year is it? What's the culture like? How did I get here?
No.
And then Darnell's like, oh, hey, Harriet Tubman, you're an icon. I love you. I'll make your album. Yeah. Not how did you get here?
No.
I know you died.
Yeah, we're moving on from that. And there's a whole moment where one of the women are going to a bodega, and everyone knows that they're here. So it's she gets to go straight to the front of the line because it's
because she's
famous. Yeah. And so they kind of address it a little
bit. Harriet Tubman being anywhere near a bodega sounds so...
Oh, it's not Harriet, one of her friends.
Well, sure, but they're from the same time period. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It is, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's Christmas time now. I don't know, Thanksgiving, love her, but
Do we?
Next book.
Okay, so before we go into the next book, though, yes to all the things that you just said, but I just really had a good time and I recommend it. I recommend the audiobook.
The audio, the first version. The first segment of this, the audio is a little wonky because we forgot to turn the mics on. So it's just the camera audio. Sorry, but now it should be back to normal.
Yeah, hopefully we don't sound like we're in a tunnel.
And if we do, tunnels are fun. Hold your breath. Next book.
Do you all do that? I don't do it.
Oh.
I never did it growing up.
I never did it growing up because I was never in tunnels.
Where we live is flat.
It's flat. No tunnels.
That's fair. Okay, the next book I read was Martyr by Kaveh Akbar.
Yeah.
This was a book that was on my TBR that was for fall. Really excited that I got to this as a part of my TBR. And because it is one of John's favorite books. So we have talked about it on the channel, so I won't go too much into it. But this story follows Cyrus Shams, who is our main character, who's living a life kind of, he's lost a little bit. He's a little like, where am I? What am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
That kind of energy.
Yeah.
And it makes sense if your mom had passed away when you were really little.
Yeah.
And, you moved from your home country when you were a baby and don't really know where you belong. So that might do some things to you. And it follows him figuring out how to be an artist, how to be a writer, how to identify himself in this world. And I think it does a beautiful job of that. For a while there, the writing style is what carried me, not the story.
That's so fair.
So I thought the prose was beautiful, but I was kind of like, I have no idea what the point of this story is.
Yeah.
Is it as a, woe is me type energy? Like I couldn't quite nail it down until the end. And I think it did a really good job of letting the prose be the driver to get you to the end of the book. And it was really beautifully done. I think I rated it at 4.5 out of 5. Delightful prose, heartbreaking the way that the sentences were written. I think just the way people can use words on a page and use it to make you feel something is quite brilliant. And I think Akbar is in like just definitely one of those people who can do that. The other thing was, as I was reading this book, a lot of things reminded me of India, actually, and I was like, what's happening in my brain? So like the last name Akbar with a C is from India, and then they said chai, and then there was just like a couple of other things that I was like, I am Indian, but I have no connection to India. Like that is not something that I know anything about.
It's fair.
I know about Jamaica and Bermuda and the United States, but I don't know much about India.
Yeah.
But those few things like I picked up on. So I ended up doing a little bit of research, and there was in fact Persian Indian connections and overtaking and rule. So there was shahs from Persia in India, and so there was a cross-cultural exchange through both violence and peace. There was both of those, and I found that really interesting because as I was reading this, there were a lot about the cultural elements that I connected to more than I expected, and that was really fun. So yes, even though I don't feel like I'm connected to a lot of Indian culture, it helped me realize actually how much Indian culture probably trickled down and impacted my family more than I realized. So that was really cool.
Nice.
That was just a little side note.
I also think Martyr is like a very interesting reflection on the idea of like how to make a life well lived is like an idea that our main character kind of is thinking about and struggling with. It's like a theme throughout.
That's true.
And the whole idea is like there's not one answer, right?
Yeah, and I think that's why I forgot about it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But it is like an underlying theme of the book.
Right.
Yeah, because that's what he's struggling
with. And like, who lives, who dies.
Yeah.
Who tells your story, again, is a part of this book.
Yeah. So
I guess that is true.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and that's very good.
The book is called Martyr.
It is called talk about that. It is called Martyr for a reason, but like you get different things from books from different people, and like that's,
but it was nothing what I thought it was about.
Good. We can talk about this one in tandem.
That's true. We can skip ahead to when I read this book.
Yeah. The next book that I read was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and the subtitle says A Love Story.
Oh.
I know.
I never noticed that.
Exactly, because it's quite small.
It's quite small on
quite small.
On the picture.
On the picture. And I do enjoy this cover, actually. I didn't notice before
There's
the shuttle.
There's so many more details in here than I ever realized.
I didn't notice the shuttle in her lens of her sunglasses.
Y'all, this book is about space.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
Not at all. I opened the book and said, what?
You did? That's crazy. I mean, that's good to go in blind.
That's how I read books. I do not read anything about them. I just hear people talk, and I say, okay.
I heard people talk about this one, and I knew it was about space.
Who told you?
I don't know. Maybe I saw the space shuttle? I don't know. I just knew it was about space. Somebody told me it was about space.
I had no clue, and I was delightfully surprised because I love space.
Yeah.
And
space book.
Like, books with women lead characters.
Yeah.
And, the 60s. Like, I'm very fascinated by all of that. So I was having a great time.
Great time.
Okay, tell me what it was about.
Well, something that I want to ask the crowd, because I don't know. You know how all of her books have like interweaving characters? I don't know what they are for this book. So if you know how all, like her whole universe exists kind of in the same. All her books exist in the same.
I didn't know that.
So if you didn't know that, you did know that.
I kind of did, but I kind of was like.
Jack Edwards is a whole video.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Okay.
I was like, that feels like a lot.
It's like. Some characters from Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo will appear and like Carrie Soto is back, and then another one from here will appear in like Malibu Rising. So I was trying to see if that happened in this book.
I've only ever read Seven Husbands.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I wouldn't.
So that's why I'm asking the crowd, because I didn't recognize any names. Anyway.
Okay.
This book, Atmosphere, is about Joan, is our main character. And she has, I guess for a long time, been obsessed with the idea of going to space. And she's a professor in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, she has her PhD in
physics, and astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love the way she talks about stars.
Yeah, no, it is pretty. She basically applies to this program that NASA is doing and gets accepted, and then that's kind of where our story begins. Mm-hmm. She starts training to become an astronaut, along with, she has like a cohort of, I don't know, maybe like 8 of them. And some of them are like ex-military, more focused on the technical aspect of flying a shuttle because they've been really successful pilots in the career. And then others are more scientific and scientists, like Joan, our main character.
Yes, and running experiments.
Exactly, but they all have to be space ready. So they're all going through like specific training regiments, like what is it, the Vomit Comet, that plane that like does the blah, 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 and like lets you experience zero gravity. They're all doing that. They're like doing crash tests, all that stuff, but also trying to make sure that they are prepared to carry out the experiments that they need to carry out when they're up there. In the meantime, Joan has a sister. Her sister has a daughter. Her daughter's name is Frances. We love Frances.
We love Frances.
We don't love her sister, however.
Yeah, her sister's tough.
Her sister's tough.
Yeah.
She is a single mother, and like that is already a tough situation to be in.
Sure.
However, she makes some questionable choices as a single mother, and I'll let you discover what those are.
Correct.
But just know that there is an aspect of like found family and like shared responsibility that is a part of this book that like adds a different dynamic. At the same time, Joan finds in the astronaut program a love interest in what is her name? Vanessa?
Oh, you're right. Vanessa.
Yeah.
And I always remember being like, Vanessa feels like a crazy name to choose. I don't know why. Vanessa just has...
You got beef with the Vanessas?
No, I have a cousin who's named Vanessa.
Oh,
I really like
okay.
Vanessas.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel like it fit her character in my head.
Honestly, I could kind of see
So I could never remember her name.
Sure, yeah.
I feel so bad about it, but it's the reality, okay?
So yeah, Vanessa, she is an experienced pilot. She's one that's trained to like fly the shuttle. And they start to form a bond, a relationship. But back in that day, back in the times, the 80s, I guess, I don't know when we were, 60s, 70s, 80s?
I think 80s, maybe.
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
That was frowned
60s
upon.
earlier, but I don't know why.
You're like, back then.
I just threw out a number.
Yeah, it's the 80s. Yeah. That was like frowned upon, especially in NASA as like a government organization.
Yeah, if you were queer, you could not be in the military or NASA.
Yes, yeah. So that is something that they face, and like there's a sense of having to hide who they are.
Not a sense. They like legitimately have to, or else they'll be fired.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So that's like a looming fear that is happening throughout the book. Yeah. For all of a sudden, first of all, the story was great, but all of a sudden I was crying. Like there were times that I'm like, why is it so tender?
Well, they did. I think Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote a beautiful story, and I was captivated by her handle of prose that was also accessible and story driven.
100%.
So you were able to, sometimes you end up with prose that is so beautiful but inaccessible to a general population, just because of the way the words are written, or you have to be read in order to feel more comfortable with the cadence of some books.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that is required of you besides having probably a high school level reading to be able to read this book, yet the prose was so beautiful. Like, there was no gatekeeping of this book is how it felt to me.
Yeah.
While also having a story that was quite intriguing and made me want to flip the page and made me want to keep reading.
Yeah.
I think that's attributed to both shorter chapters or like short moments within chapters combined with the thing that she loves to do, which is playing with time. So you're going back and forth with time. So you're looking in the present, and then you're going back to the past to learn more about the characters that you read about in the present.
Yeah.
And I think she does a really good job of making sure you know just what you need when you need it. And that is a brilliant way to handle this craft that I don't know if I'll ever be able to get a handle on. Like, I think it is just a brilliant way to write.
Yeah.
And I think reading this book reminded me probably how masterful you have to be able to do that.
Yeah. No, it definitely did show just how good of a writer she is. I also think there was a point in the story when I listened to this one, got it from our library. There's a point in the story when I was like, this is a really good romance. And that's when I realized that it had a love story as a subtitle, because I didn't think it was going to be a romance book. That it's like, it is a romance, but not your stereotypical romance.
I thought it was a romance.
Only thought I had. No, I didn't know it was a romance.
And that's why I didn't want to pick it up.
Oh, because you thought it was just romance.
Yeah, which, no hate to the romance readers, it's just not my genre.
I keep saying just romance.
You do, and it's really bad.
I'm sorry to the people. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, it does more than one thing, Hugo.
I think it's better than Seven Husbands.
That's fair. I also realized...
I couldn't say it.
You're
gonna laugh at that later.
I also realized the people that she got to blurb it, Andy Weir and Kristen Hanna, which is
crazy.
A perfect combo. Because Andy Weir writes about sci-fi and like going into space, and then Kristen Hanna writes historical fiction. She got these two powerhouses in literature.
And I haven't read any other of Taylor Jenkins. I can't say anything.
It's like, I feel like back in the Victorian age, they're like, oh, there's a new like book from the Bronte sisters out. That's how it felt to me. Because we had an R.F. Kuang, we had Catabasis and Atmosphere coming out at the same time. It's like, whoa, wow, there's a new R.F. Kuang out. I don't like that.
I kind of loved it.
Okay.
Your voice had a breathiness to it that's not normally there, and it was quite interesting.
That's the Victorian voice.
I didn't know.
They're all really breathy.
What?
Yeah. It's factual. Look it up. Okay, your turn.
Okay, so before I read Atmosphere, I read a book that I really, really, really liked and highly recommend. So it is called The People's Project, and it was compiled by Maggie Smith and Saeed Jones.
Okay.
I'm going to read the description for you, okay?
Cool.
It says, a liberatory anthology of 26 writers.
Okay.
A community in book form, charting paths ahead for action and care in the face of political uncertainty. Curated by the people I just said, Maggie Smith and Saeed Jones.
Okay.
So you read poetry, essays, commentary, like these different small pieces of nonfiction all compiled together towards the mission of representing diverse backgrounds and people's perspectives, as well as speaking to the political uncertainty and what our role as humans might be in that context. I had a great time. I read it in like 45 minutes. Like, I sat down and just like started reading it on my Kindle, and then I was like, I can't stop. I need to put it down, but I can't stop. It's 109 pages. So this book actually was thought about, I think, at the end of 2024. So really right after the election. These two were having a conversation and said, what would it look like for us to share what our community really is about and what we deeply care about and why this matters? Okay. And so they reached out to the likes of Casey Lehman, who wrote Heavy. Who else? Let's see. Tiana Clark, Aubrey Hirsch. Who else do I know? Victoria Chang.
When you say our community, what do you mean?
Any marginalized community, honestly, I think is represented here.
Okay.
Immigrants, the queer community, transness is represented really well. What else do we have? So many different things. And then Ashley C. Ford is someone that I know. I haven't read, what was it? Somebody's Daughter, I think. I haven't read that book yet, but I know that a lot of people love that book. The average rating, there's only 196 reviews so far, but the average rating is 4.47. To give you an idea of like the way that I think it speaks to the moment And it just feels like an outpouring of these brilliant authors' hearts. And so I highly recommend it. It's a short compilation, and I think it's really well done. There was one essay in there that I was like, I don't know if I agree with all of this.
And that's fair.
And that's I think the way discourse should be.
Yeah, correct.
And I think it did a great job of bringing those different perspectives together. I loved it. Do I do another one?
You do one more.
Oh my gosh.
I know, isn't it crazy?
It's crazy. Okay, this was a fun book.
Okay.
This was a romance that I read.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's happening. So a friend of mine on Storygraph read this book, and I was like, I've been meaning to pick it up because I like the cover so much.
It is a fun cover.
It's called We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman.
Okay.
It's a fiction story about a woman who is walking through the final days with her best friend who's been fighting cancer.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't mean for you.
Keep going, I guess.
It's about this woman who's sitting with her friend, and she has a daughter, and she's trying to find some way to ground herself. And you find her figuring out those things and trying to make sense of it, and oftentimes using sex as a way to placate the pain that she's experiencing.
Yeah, okay.
I think it does a really good job of showing one way you might respond to trauma.
Yeah.
It's not all the ways, and I didn't really personally identify in that way, but I think that it is a very real way that people might navigate this, and I don't think a lot of people will talk about it. So I think that this book did a really good job of highlighting the pain while also not glorifying it in any way. It really was about the woman who was the friend of the cancer patient, not harping on the cancer patient's experiences. So I think that the prose was really well done. I had a good time with it. I think that it is a book I was surprised I picked up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I did, because it's something that expanded my reading and my understanding of literary fiction.
Did anyone find love? You said it's a romance. Does this spoil it? You don't have to spoil it. But you said it's a romance, and it's about a friend watching her friend die. And that was
And you know what? It's a romance, and I actually don't remember the romance part.
Okay, my next book. Bear with me.
Warning.
Is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This is my second time reading this. Who let me do that again? I was talking to a friend, and I was like, I think it's time to reread A Little Life. And she said, no. And then a few days later, she was like, you know what? I think I'm down. And I said, bet. And I picked it up, and we went for it. Anyway, this is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. It follows 4 friends who meet in college, and it follows them basically throughout their whole lives. They start in their mid to late 20s. They're living in New York, and then we follow them all the way into their 50s and into late adulthood. Right?
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
So our 4 characters, we have Jude, we have JB, we have Malcolm, and we have Willem. And they are this tight-knit group, and they're all doing their own thing, but they are a unit at the same time. Most of our story, those of you who know that we follow mostly Jude St. Francis. He is the main character of the book, if you will. And man, he's got a tough past. A lot has happened to him, and the author does a really good job at showing you the pain from his past before explaining the past, right? So you see how he interacts with people, and you can pull from the way he interacts with people and the way he views himself that something has happened before without ever talking about it. Mm-hmm. So that is really interesting. And then you get halfway through the book, and that's when I would say all the trigger warnings for this book, I would lie. That it's definitely not for everybody. I think that's where a lot of the divisiveness around this book comes into play. It's a book that there's a lot of discourse around. Mm-hmm. At this point now, it is 10 years old.
Really?
I know. The book is 10 years old.
What year are we in? We're living in the future.
It's crazy. So I read this for the first time, I think 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4.
You went to Spain.
It was before Spain, so maybe 4 years ago. And the way I explained it to my friend was the first time I read it, it opened up my brain to this idea and method of accessing and processing emotions that was new to me, that I hadn't had before. And I've said before, it seeps into the way I treat everybody in my life now. Strangers, anyone, just not knowing their backstory, what they bring to a conversation, has provided me with a base level of empathy that I didn't have before. On the second read, it was okay, now you understand these emotions. Let's see what happens like as you're actively going through them and feeling them. Like it was first time unlocking the door, this time like peering inside the door and seeing how we feel, right? I'm not going to get too much into it. I am going to show you the thing that I purchased back in February because I got a targeted Instagram ad that was like, it's been here since February? No, it got delivered last week.
Oh, okay.
I pre-ordered it 8th of February.
Got it.
So it was coming out that it was the 10-year anniversary of the book, and I saw this.
So pretty.
So this is the A Little Life box set that recently came out. So we'll start just here. It says A Little Life across the side, right, of the four. There's 4 separate books. Mm-hmm. The cover art on the outside of the box
is beautiful.
All different artists.
Ooh.
So I won't explain. Actually, I will. This is supposed to be like a depiction of JB, and I like it because like this is how he looks in the mind of one artist. This isn't how he looked in my head, right? This is Malcolm. This is the 4 friends walking on the street. If you know, they have like a it's either, I think it's a Thai place that they go to when they're like broke, and I think it's on this street. That's what I picture at least. And then this picture is so incredibly important. I was reading because in the back of one of the books it has like the artist's notes along with the author's notes. So we know this is Jude, and I won't tell you why we know it, but if you've read the book, you know why we know this is Jude. And then we have an arm here. And at first, I decided to believe it was Willem. And now I'm talking to the people that know the book. I decided to believe it was Willem. And then I read later that they purposely left it as just an arm so we wouldn't know who it was that was interacting with Jude, because this could elicit 2 very different responses. If you know, you know.
That's really scary.
Moving forward.
Whoa!
I know.
I feel like you should save this for the long.
Maybe. Okay. I'll say there's a lot more art to go around and to be had. There is a chance that I do a separate video where I go really in depth in this book because I could talk about this book for hours. So it might deserve its own video. I will save that for then. Just know I am obsessed. I think this is my new favorite thing on my bookshelf.
Should I just read the first 2 books then?
No.
Since the middle is where it gets bad?
Nope.
Why?
I don't think it's good.
I think that's really interesting that a book could elicit such strong emotions.
Yeah.
I have not confronted a book that has done that to me yet.
That is what I'll say is in my entire life, like, yes, Punch Me Up to the Gods made me like stop and think about my life. I have never experienced visceral emotions from a book I've never experienced. I showed them the picture. Visceral emotions from a book in the same way that A Little Life gets me. Like, it is the most angry I've been in a book.
What is it about the writing? Is it the story or the writing? What is it?
It's all of it. It's so compelling.
How does it do it?
It's because it's so long. It's so freaking long that you have so much time to know these characters and the way they interact that, like, man, this book is character development. That's what it is. So when things happen, you can feel it so intensely. There's a betrayal that happens I was talking to a friend about recently, and we both talked about how, like, deep, like, of a fear that evokes from us because of things that have happened in our lives and, like, people that we interact with. And it's like, I've never been more angry than reading this book, never been more sad, never been more heartbroken. The emotional reaction you can have to this book is so intense just from character interactions, not even the trauma that our characters go through. That's why I think it's so important for you, if you are trying to read it, to know that you can read it, because it's not just the traumatic experiences, it's also in the day-to-day interactions where you'd find some pain.
I have to read it one day.
No, you do not.
Like, I know
I can explain it to you.
No, I know we decided that you have explained it to me.
I know.
And I know all the plot points that you've shared already.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we do, is you explain the story to me first. But I don't know, but I want to...
There's one I'll explain to you off camera that, like...
No. Okay. I don't want to know. I think I have to read it at some point.
No, I don't want you to.
And I understand. I understand why you don't want to.
Like, you can look into it and look at all the, like, I would say get a summary of the traumatic experiences. Okay. Not just the trigger warnings, the traumatic experiences. Okay. One of my barista friends asked me if she could borrow this book after me, and I said no, dead in her face. I would recommend it to so few people. It is one of my favorite books ever. I would never blindly recommend it, and there are people that if they ask me to borrow it, I will straight up say no. Anyway, that's that. Next book. Sorry about that.
We'll shift gears a little bit.
I'm sweating.
So, yeah, shifting gears a little bit. Okay. So I started a book last summer. I realized that I was 89% of the way through when I paused it. And I said, we have to finish that now. It's fall time. It's spooky season. I gotta read it. And so I read it like the week of Halloween. And this is The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. And this is a World War I novel where we follow Laura Ivan.
Good job.
And she is a nurse who like got injured and wasn't able to like participate in the war anymore. But then she gets like, she like meets a ghostie and it's like,
it's in the title.
My brother's alive.
Oh.
And so then she decides to go back to the war and go search for her brother Freddie, who she has been told is dead or missing. Okay. And she like now knows in her spirit he's alive because the spirit has told her.
Oh, okay. The ghost told her brother's alive.
I think so. Something like that. Okay. Again, I
she just felt it in her soul.
I read that part in July.
That's so fair. But
I'm pretty sure that there was 3 ghosts that were chilling.
Wow.
And there were these women who were living in the house, and they were like, hey. And so she ends up going back to the war. She is an excellent nurse. It was really cool following her story and looking more at World War I from a women nurses' perspective from originally Canada.
Is that how like she got back to the war? She like enlisted as a nurse? Is that?
Yeah, she just like kind of, I think she lied about her injury or something. I really don't remember how she ended up doing it.
Okay.
But she like has an injury. She's chilling. She meets these other women. They're like vibing. Then they end up in this house. And I don't want to give anything away.
Okay.
But you end up in this like paranormal experience, right? In the book.
Ghosties.
And then you follow the story of her, and you follow the story of like maybe like her brother, but her brother back in the past. So when he was alive. Okay. And you're following kind of what had happened to him.
Is dead.
I don't know.
Okay.
It was really enjoyable. I thought it was really fun.
Interesting.
The trouble for me was that the writing style wasn't for me.
So
that's why it took me a while.
That's why you kept DNFing.
Yeah, because the story itself was not my favorite, the way that it was written, but the concept of the story and the way it unfolded at the very end, I thought was really well done.
Yeah.
Okay, the next book I read was Yo que siempre estuve aquí.
Okay.
Which is a book in Spanish that I bought in Paris. And I'm actually the one who put this all in here. So let me see if I can remember. I wanted to bring this book.
You put this in here?
Yeah, I uploaded this.
Oh.
This picture.
Are you going to translate it for them?
It was me. No.
Oh. Okay.
There's one review, it's me. So I actually don't remember which country this was from. Peru. Okay. So this book is this poetry collection is by Grecia Cáceres. And this was something I picked up on a whim. Everything in the bookstore was French or in Spanish. And so I said, well, I do Spanish. So I will grab this one. Yeah. And I asked what she recommended. This author is from Peru, but lived in Paris. And so that's why there's a publisher there that, is sharing her works. This book was in fact written in Spanish and is in Spanish, so if you do not speak Spanish, I'm so sorry. But it was one of the 10 books that I read, so I had like a little percentage for my Spanish versus English thing, and that was really fun on my story graph. Fair. To be like, I read 2 languages this month. So this collection of poems was really quite brilliant, in my opinion. It talked about the ordinary daily life things, turning on the TV, coming home after school, doing a group project. I loved that poem. It was so real. And then all of a sudden you are understanding the political climate.
Oh.
And Paris? No, of San Felipe.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're understanding what's happening and how the rise and fall of fascism works. And you are understanding some of these things in the context of daily life.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And I thought that was really quite well done.
That's very cool.
There were a lot of words I did not know. Yeah. I had to translate a good amount because I've never spoken Spanish from Peru. And there were some high diction words because...
You own this in physics?
Yeah, I own it in physics. Yes, I own it in physical form, and that is why I'm so sad I didn't bring it, because I wanted to read one of the poems for you all. But also, translating it would have been annoying.
That's fair.
To be fair.
Yeah.
But it was brilliantly done. I think to be fair, poetry doesn't take a lot to dazzle me. I don't know much about poetry. I'm not a poet. I do not I don't read poetry and know all the symbolism right away.
Yeah.
Like I remember in high school, I was annotating something and then I was looking at my friend's paper and she had written an entire essay on it. And I said, "What? How did you get all of that from this? And how is it all correct?" And my teacher was like, "Yes, blah, 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 blah." And then the student was like, "Any interpretation you have of poetry that speaks to your soul, it's worth it." And I said, "You, child, should be the teacher."
I agree.
Yeah, I do highly recommend reading more poetry if you don't have it in your lives. I think picking up a poem and reading about a life experience through words on a page that don't always have to make sense to a narrative, but make sense to a moment can be really powerful. And so highly recommend finding a poet. Someone recommended that Ocean Vuong is a really good place to start. I really like Sophia Sinclair as a place to start. I'm reading right now a poetry collection called You Better Be Lightning by Andrea Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
And they have great prose and poetry, but I think it's quite accessible too. So I highly recommend that as well. Pick up a book that's a book full of poems, and I think you'll be really delighted.
Nice. Speaking of poems, in this book, When I Sing Mountains Dance, the format changes constantly, and one chapter is just poetry. There's a character that likes to write poetry, so we get a chapter from their perspective, and it's all poetry, and it's beautiful to the point where I was like, I need to read a book of poetry. I always kind of cast it aside as I don't want to read poetry, that's boring, and it's so heady and whatever. I think I was wrong.
That's me eating.
I could tell. So this book is When I Sing Mountains Dance by Irene Sola. It's translated from Catalan by Mara Faye Lethem.
Sorry, that's terrible. It just
Can't bring her anywhere.
You can't.
If you don't know what Catalan is, it is a dialect that is associated with the Spanish language. They speak it in a province of Spain called Catalunya. That's where you find the city of Barcelona, close to the French border.
Yeah, nailed it.
Thank you.
In the northeast corner.
The northeast corner. If you know about Spain, there's a lot of dialects that are still spoken on top of what would be considered the royal
National,
Spanish.
Yes. Castellano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I lived in the Valencian region. They still speak Valenciano, things like that. So Catalan is that language, translated from Catalan. I've never read a book that was translated from Catalan before, so that was really interesting. So this takes place in the Pyrenees Mountains, which, if you're familiar with geography, is the mountain range that kind of separates Spain and France, and also Andorra is right in the middle there. And it's taking place near Barcelona, but on the outskirts. That's the city they mention in the book. So follow mostly one family that is living out in the mountains. The father's name is Dominic, and that's where we start with his perspective.
I didn't realize that. I started this book. I'm only a page in, but I didn't realize. It felt when I started reading it that it was I was nobody. Yeah.
That's you. That's how you should approach the book.
Ooh.
That you are nobody, and you are you are being told a story. And you're not only being told a story by people, you're also being told a story by the mountains, by the thunder, by the rivers, by a roe deer. Don't know what a roe deer is, but by a deer telling you their perspective. The way that this author used personification is enchanting. Ooh. Genuinely. It was crazy to receive a story about something so earthly, but it felt otherworldly at the same time. Because you're getting told a story by a thundercloud? What?
The question mark is so funny.
Exactly. And then at one point the earth is talking about why it's forming the Pyrenees Mountains. Anyway, very, very interesting. And it does tell one full narrative that at first I was a little lost. But kind of, you talked about a book earlier, Turbulence, where the way that the characters connect is really unique and interesting. That's how this book works as well. It's you'll learn about a character in this last chapter, and then the next chapter will be either from their perspective or the perspective of the grass that they were walking on or things like that. And then ties it all through.
It's beautiful.
Very interesting. So it says, she finds distinct voices for lightning bolts, roe deer, ghost of the Spanish Civil War, Dominic's widow, Sio, and later their grown children with their long buried secrets and hidden pain.
How'd you hear about this book?
Someone in our comments.
Well,
you guys.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Somebody said it, and I looked it up, and I was like, I want it. I want it right now.
All right. Now my next book is Goddess of the...
There's a little cadence to that.
There was. Goddess of the River by Vaishnavi Patel. So this is the second mythological retelling that she has written. I think she has 2 other books and 1 coming out soon. This was a reimagining of the Hindu myth. I couldn't remember that word for some reason. Of Ganga, the goddess of the river. And it follows her navigating... I mean, it's not... There's no spoilers because it's a mythical retelling. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what happened.
Okay. You're going to tell us the myth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, I actually don't know if it was the original myth or not because I don't know the myth.
That's fair.
So Ganga is the goddess of the river and she gets cursed and becomes a human woman and then immediately gets married to a man and then they have a child. But in order for her to get rid of this curse, she has to have 7 children.
Oh.
And she has to, maybe they don't live. And, but the children are spirits, so as soon as they're killed, their spirit, is, free from the bounds of being human. Okay. Except for the last child, she doesn't get to kill in time, and so that child
She's killing them?
Oh, yeah. But that feels pretty normal to me.
For myth, yeah.
Well...
I have tears in my eyes.
Okay, so you missed it, but I did share some family lore to him, and he is crying.
I'll be fine. Keep going. I'm gonna be over here for a second.
Do you need to get a tissue?
I'm fine. No, it's gonna leave. It's like
But anyway, so her son grows up, and because he's a son of a god, lives longer and is able to become an advisor, etc. And so you follow his story along with hers, and it is actually really beautifully written. It felt like... My Nana used to tell me stories when I fell asleep growing up, and the crickets or the frogs would be making noise in the background, and she would just lay down next to me and tell me stories of lore. They weren't these myths, but it was Brer Rabbit, and she would just, I don't even know, she would just speak over me and tell these stories until I fell asleep. And the writing style felt like my grandma telling stories. You're crying? Okay.
I had to dissociate for a second. Keep going. Let me know when it's my turn to talk again.
Out of all the books I read, this one is the most fine out of all of them. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Anyway, so I think it was not my favorite mythic retelling, unfortunately, because there were often moments where it felt like I was being told and not shown, which was frustrating. But then it also lent itself to the way that a storyteller might do it when sitting down to passing a story down orally. So I wasn't upset at that. It was just, it could get a little dry at times because of that.
Fair.
I had a great time with this book. It is a super easy read to me. I breezed through it. Yeah. The font is a good size. In
comparison to Kaiki, do you have one you like more?
I like Kaiki more.
Okay.
But I thought that this one was actually more accessible.
Okay. Cool.
But I really liked Kaiki. It was so good.
Interesting. This next book is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez.
We love.
This is the third in
The third?
The third. In the unofficial trilogy of Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and then Just for the Summer. I was scrolling through Libby, as one does, looking for my next audiobook. Saw this was available, and I was like, you know what?
I did see that on Libby. I did see you read that.
And I think after the books I had been reading, I needed something lighthearted.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I went with this. So we have Emma and Justin. This was actually really fun. So Emma is a nurse, and she has her best friend Maddie, and they're travel nurses, and they, every 6 months, I think, will choose a new city to live in. So they're at work one day, and there's a Reddit post that they read from the r/am I the asshole? Yeah. And somebody posts, and it's basically my roommate screwed me over, so I'm stuck with this lease that I don't like.
So she is on Reddit.
Yeah, she's definitely on Reddit.
There's a Reddit story that is around, and I don't know if it's true or not, but her first book follows the conflict that's in that first book, or like the trauma in that first book, is a straight up Reddit story.
Interesting.
So I don't know who wrote it first.
Interesting.
But that's interesting. Okay,
but she's definitely on Reddit. She knows Reddit a lot. Yeah.
Heard. Someone stole from someone.
Yeah.
Either the Reddit
this guy's roommate screwed him over in the lease. He had to like move in his new apartment. He like faces a billboard for like a toilet, a plumbing company, whatever. So he got a dog and named his dog after his ex-roommate. And the idea is, I also think that his ex-roommate ended up with his ex. So the curse that both of our main characters have, our two love interests, is the person that their ex dates after them ends up being their soulmate every single time. So it's like, I break up with you, the next person you date is going to be your soulmate. And that's like the trend.
I thought you meant that your soulmate... Sorry. That would make more sense.
I might have explained it badly.
I get it now. But the example was helpful.
Okay, yeah. So apparently they both have a curse. That leads our main character, Emma, to respond to this Reddit post. That's how they start chatting, turns out they live in different cities, but she's like, I'm a travel nurse. Maybe I like stop at this guy's city, which felt a little far-fetched to be like, you haven't met him in real life. Like, I think they've called, maybe FaceTime a few times.
Oh, okay. That feels more realistic then.
So, but I was like, man, you're just going to go. And then she does. And that's cute. And it's the only way the story made sense. So, they get there. I think this one, and Abby Jimenez does actually include a trigger warning in the beginning of the book herself for, like, mental health concerns. Because it depicts things like panic attacks, manic episodes. So, she's explained to the readers, like, if you're sensitive to those topics and those experiences, maybe it's not for you. Emma, Maddie, they live in this island, which is really cool, that they have to take a boat out to. Neither of them know how to drive boats. It's kind of funny. It's a mess. Justin has his own stuff going on. His mom is going to prison for reasons that you'll find out. And it becomes on him eventually to like take care of his family. And Emma's mom is a character that shows up in some of our past Abby Jimenez books, and she is just not a great mom, is how I'll leave that there, and you'll find out more. I was pleasantly surprised by the romance, because I thought I had Abby Jimenez pinned down. I did not.
Ooh, that's fun.
I had a good time. I think Abby Jimenez is the queen of romantic banter. I was like, is that how we're supposed to be spitting game nowadays? Because I'm not that quick.
It's too much.
I'm not that quick.
I'm never...
Also, who talks like that? All the time. Nobody does. Let's say that. And maybe they do. Maybe they do.
We don't.
Maybe we don't.
We don't.
But it is very like,
little game.
Quick, very witty, and I think that's fun. I now officially think I like Abby Jimenez more than Emily Henry.
Yeah, sure.
Sue me.
I mean, Emily Henry said herself.
Yeah.
Jimenez is a true talent.
She is a true talent. Obviously, we have the shout out to Nadia Bakes.
Yeah, of course.
It's in all of them. But yeah, it was very fun. I listened to it in like a day and a half.
And you have it in your hands? That's
have it in my hands. I had to complete the trilogy on my shelf.
No, I know. I'm dipping.
And it like has a really good feel.
The cover is beautiful.
The cover is so pretty. Yeah.
I think it's really well done.
I agree.
So you have already heard about this book, I'm pretty sure, right?
Because I read it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was like, you did read this, right?
I did. I promise.
And that book is Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy.
Yeah.
The Irish folk know how to write.
I'm telling you.
Period. Soldier Sailor was actually hard for me to read at times because I didn't always love the way it did depict motherhood from the standpoint. Let me tell you what it's about. You follow a mom who has a child.
Mom.
And that's the whole story. Okay, that's it.
Basically,
that's
sure, yeah.
So there were times where I didn't love the way motherhood was depicted because I was like, I feel like this isn't fair. Like this isn't like I wanted, I don't know, my heart just like hurt too much. And I was like, I know this is true for some women for sure.
Yep.
But it's not true for all women, but that's not the point of the book. Exactly. The point of the book was to share the story of one woman and the way that motherhood can end up for women in particular because society has been constructed in this way that is patriarchal and allows for just this unhealthy dynamic to emerge in a marriage when a child is born. And it follows it really well. And the prose, stunning. I just ate up the way the words were written on the page.
Yeah.
I was just having a good time reading this month, y'all.
Grand
like,
old time.
I just had book after book that just had words that made me want to keep reading.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a beautiful art form. And to be able to have access to art so easily without having to get up and go to a museum or spend thousands of dollars on an art piece, but to have this book of art in my hands, it just felt crazy to me. Wow. And it was free because it was at the library. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it if you want something that is a prose, that is character study-like. Following a character, not really knowing what is true, to be honest, because it is only one perspective. But I think that is the point.
100%.
Yeah, I really liked it.
It's real good.
It's real good.
It's real good. You should read that book.
You should read about it.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is a book I listened to because I was trying to get through all of the short list books, and I failed.
Oh.
But
that's a lofty goal.
It was 6 of them, right? 7? Something like that?
I don't know.
Audition is the next one by Katie Kitamura. This book I had picked up at the bookstore, and I read what it was about, and then I put it back down.
Oh, was that with you?
No.
Okay.
And then I bought Martyr. So it was a win.
I like that.
But after listening to this book, man, do I wish I'd bought it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
I think reading it would have been so interesting.
Man, I'm not tapped into the Booker Prize this year, and I feel like I'm missing out on stuff.
Yeah, I do think you are. There's some good literature.
No, there always is.
It's one of my favorite prizes.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what is so interesting about this book. One is the community thinks that it's mid.
Okay.
The average rating is a 3.5.
Okay.
People I've seen say they think that it's so confusing and so dumb. Oh. And other people are like, this is one of the most brilliant things that I've read when it comes to experimental fiction.
Interesting.
So what happens is, in part 1, you enter into a scene of a woman having a meal with a man, and you don't really know what their relationship dynamic is.
Sure, okay.
And then you follow that story, and then you hit part 2, and something intriguing happens with the plot. Like, there is a plot shift. A plot, not twist, but a plot shift. Okay? And the whole point of Audition, I think, is to make you as the reader both doubt everything you know to be true about a story. It's kind of like how Great Gatsby can do that. Like, you never know whether or not you can believe the narrator.
Yep.
Here, you have no idea what the truth is. Okay. And it feels like everyone is just play acting. And it was just a very... And it was so interesting to me. Like, I actually completely understand why people don't like it. It is confusing. I think I like to suspend my... Is it disbelief?
Sure.
Or belief. Suspend my disbelief, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do that all the time with musicals. I've been doing that since I was 5 years old, right? I'm like, yeah, clearly they're not going to get up and start singing right now. Like, I'm not interested in necessarily the reality of a story all the time. I'm interested in the point of the story.
Did they get up and start singing in the...
No, but that's the point of a musical. That's where I learned to suspend my disbelief for musicals. I learned this process of... Yeah, obviously they're not going to start singing, but this book, you have to suspend your disbelief because there is something that happens in the story that you simply can't accept that both realities are true.
Okay.
There's no way.
Okay.
There's simply zero way.
Okay.
I think I'll make a more in-depth video on this as well.
Okay.
And that'll live somewhere, not on our channel, but like I will make a more in-depth video with spoilers because I think that without explaining it to you, you're going to be a little confused. If you like beautiful prose, that'll carry you through this book. If you like experimental fiction, you will eat it up, I think.
Okay.
Okay?
My last book, there's a lot of discourse around the author, so we'll get there in a second. This is The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. It's been sitting on my TBR for a minute now. I think I got it in Bermuda in our hall. I have seen this popping around Book Talk a lot. It's very cozy.
Yeah, it's like very fall cozy vibe.
Basically, there's this man, his name is Linus. He works for the department in charge of magical youth. And he gets sent on an assignment to this island that has a house on the Cerulean Sea. And it is an orphanage for children with magical abilities, basically. So we have a cast of children, and
it's funny at times.
Right? I thought that's why you would enjoy it. Because there's a specific character.
Yes, yeah, we can't say it. But
that I thought, well, I think we can. Okay, you're right.
I don't want to give away any of the characters.
Sure. Yeah. There was a character that I knew immediately you'd be like, hee hee.
Yeah,
like, I thought you would love him.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was far-fetched to play with this many different mythical ideas.
And like mythical cast that are already a part of the zeitgeist.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, that I've already had, like they have foundational understandings of what they are. And then to make them children and make them all interact with each other was a bold take. But I think he did a pretty decent job of it.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Very cozy, very cute. It's basically like a found family. The lesson here is like there's a few lessons. One of the main ones is like don't let society tell you who to be. Also, like to try to change societal perspectives, it happens one person at a time. It's not going to happen overnight in like this big wave. It's like you have to change one mind at a time. And like if people have outdated opinions, even though it's hard work, it's important to remember that you are who you are based on yourself, not based on what society tells you are.
Yeah, that's good.
All those things. There's discourse around the inspiration of the book and where the author kind of got some ideas from. And I'll let you look into that for yourself. I think, I feel like I've given you the tools to do so. If you want to see what the discourse is, you can look into it. I think it was cute. It was cozy. I think there's a sequel. I don't know if I'm going to keep
I probably won't.
going. There's a sequel because the last... You know how sometimes they'll put the first chapter of the next book in the back of the book? They did that. But it said, the little blurb from B.E. Schwab, it says, I loved it. It's like being wrapped up in a big gay blanket. Simply perfect.
So, a book that we both own is Madonna in a Fur Coat.
Correct.
By Sabahattin Ali.
Yes.
Translated by Maureen Freely and Alexander Daw.
This book has the weirdest texture I've ever felt on.
I don't know how to explain it. It is so weird.
It's so different.
And it feels weird in my hand.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and the pages are thick, too. So, actually, the book is shorter than you think, because the pages are so thick. I just yeeted my book.
The pages are thick.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so strange.
So the first chapter, you're following this character who's, again, a little lost in life, a little aloof.
Yeah.
Is there a theme?
That happens.
Possibly. And the writing style, I was immediately entranced by. There was something about it that just made me keep wanting to read, and I couldn't explain it.
No.
Exactly. And as we were reading the first chapter, we met, our character met a character.
Yes.
And the character that he met, I was like, yeah, the way that they're describing him seems like he's just this quiet dude who knows how to speak German. Oh, they're in Turkey, by the way.
I just throw that in there with no context. Quiet dude who knows how to speak German.
This is a Turkish author. It was a classic from the 1940s. It was translated about, I think, 15 years ago to English. I don't know why it's popping off right now. Question mark? TikTok blew it up. And honestly, it deserves its flowers. I agree.
Cool.
So anyway, this man that we meet through our main character, is a translator. He speaks German. He seems quiet. He seems a little frumpy, if you will. I don't know of a better word right now. And as I was reading, I was like, I don't really care about a main character anymore. I want to know about that guy. Guess what? We get to know everything about that guy. And I was really delightfully pleased about that.
Okay, cool. Cool. Do we know it, do we switch perspectives, or is it we just find out things about him?
You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Sure.
No, actually, we read a journal, and we get to know the first-person narrative of the character that I was interested in.
Cool.
And we follow him, and one of the first things that he does is he ends up in a art gallery and is entranced by a piece of art.
Okay.
And I find that so relevant. Sometimes you see a piece of art and you're like, I cannot put my finger on it, but that is quality to me. That is beautiful to me. God. It's fine. I actually spent 45 minutes talking about quality on Sunday.
Again? With whom?
With other people.
Damn.
And it was actually really quite applicable and quite interesting. And I hated that it worked.
Okay.
We're reading a book right now that's pretty much all about quality, and we're not huge fans of it. But it did get me to think about what is quality.
Yeah.
You try to answer that question.
Yeah.
Where do you end up?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this novel follows that character, and follows his journey to Berlin, and he meets someone, he gets to know them, friendship is created, and maybe he falls in love, maybe he doesn't. It's hard to explain really what love is in this book, and I think that's what it does really well. You are able to explore what it feels like to not know what it means to deserve love, and then to struggle to give it.
Ooh.
But also without being so entrenched in the characters. I was not absorbed by the characters.
Okay.
I was absorbed by the writing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which was so interesting to me. I actually didn't care about really what happened to the characters in the end because I was thinking so much and the writing was so good, I just didn't care. I don't know. It was so weird. That might not be your experience with this book. I think you might like the characters. I don't know. I just kind of was like, okay, the characters are doing their thing. What is the author going to say next?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
And so I would spend, like, in the evening, I would be like, okay, I'm going to read 20 pages.
Okay.
Because the second chapter is the rest of the book.
I hate that.
So I was like, I have to give myself a natural stopping point.
Yeah,
and because
yeah.
there's exactly 200 pages in the book,
Yeah.
I could do, like, divisors and be like, okay, 20 pages feels like a good percentage of the book to get through.
Sure, yeah, okay.
But then, 50 pages later, I'm like, what?
Oh,
I just read 30 more than I expected to. I have to go to bed.
I simply must.
So I actually read this book in 50-page chunks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 4 sittings.
Yeah.
Nice. Quick maths.
Didn't mean to do that, but
That's
I
how
did.
good it was. Okay.
Because I really was delighted by this prose.
Wow.
I think that there's a lot to learn from it, a lot to learn from the figurative language that was employed at very specific moments. It felt like everything was quite purposeful in this writing. Maybe the occasional metaphor felt stretched, but most of the time I felt like the prose of this book was a workshop on writing. So.
Should I read it soon?
Yeah. But I don't feel like it's urgent.
Okay.
I feel like it is on your shelf. You have a
Yeah.
physical copy.
I do.
When you're wanting something that will... It's a classic, right?
Yeah.
So what does a classic do for us oftentimes? It stretches our understanding of what prose can look like because we have this way we tell stories today, while also being from a different language. And so you're getting... Like, it's so interesting to see how... I'm curious as to what the original language was like, because there are some metaphors that I was like, whoa, I never would have thought of that. Or I would never have used that sentence and said those 5 words, period, and had that impact. Like, I don't think I would have made those choices. And so I think it is just a good book to read.
Okay, yeah. Wow, that's all of them, right?
We did it!
That's
Thank
insane.
you for joining me on the journey of talking about books.
I feel like I've been in the Twilight Zone.
I think I'm going to write my not reviews, but like my ideas down as I go now because I'm reading a lot more. I didn't have to do that before. And that was really hard to remember everything, and I didn't do a good job.
Guys, this is Sierra in her primordial form. Before we knew her on the channel. This is what happened. She was the big reader, and I was the one that was like, do, 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 do.
But to be fair, you still read a lot.
No, I did. Yeah.
And one big chunk of a book.
A Little Life is a little, like, I think right over 800 pages, which is crazy.
I read some good literature.
Yeah.
Like, I read
You
literature.
You did.
It was
Indeed.
so good.
Yeah.
And I feel invigorated.
Wow.
And so excited for fall. I'm so happy that it's November.
Yeah. It's going to be winter so soon. I can't wait for it to be Christmas. I just want it to be Christmas now.
Really?
Like, I don't want to skip to Christmas.
Okay.
But I want...
that's surprising to me.
No. I don't want it to be Christmas Day. I want it to be Christmas season.
Oh, I understand. You want the whimsical,
yes.
like,
lighthearted
between Thanksgiving and Christmas when everything is just like good.
Yes.
And we're all hanging out.
And everyone's happy and merry, and there's lights and there's music and there's cookies. That's what I want now. I forget about the harvest times. Forget it. I'm skipping it. Heard it here first. It's Christmas now.
It's Christmas now.
Halloween ends. Christmas starts.
Happy Christmas.
It is Christmas.
I mean, like, half our viewers don't even have Thanksgiving.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
So, like, Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
It's here.
Okay, thanks so much for watching. It was a long video. I feel like I'm
so sorry.
I have to edit this later. And as we were talking, I was like, oh no.
I'm so sorry. I'll read less.
No, that's not the answer. Okay, yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see how this goes. Let us know what you thought about these books. Let us know what you're reading going into the fall, harvest, Christmas, holiday season.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't. Whatever you celebrate.
Yeah.
I feel like Christmas is very popular in the U.S., but and in our lives, in our personal lives.
Yes.
Christmas.
But yeah, let us know what you're up to, and like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
See ya.